Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. Sentinels, brand new player and narrator's given his perspective on exactly what it took to get him onto Sentinels, effectively replacing Sassy for the upcoming VCT season, saying that he had many trials and opportunities on plenty of other massive name teams in the VCT, but decided to either reject them or potentially they rejected him to then take the offer over at Sentinels. Very much into your thoughts in the comments below. Lots of other things to discuss on the day as well. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. Lots of talk as ever on Neon last night, just because it's been an increasing noise in the VCT really around the way. I mean, like, have a look at this from Roy here. I mean, yeah, interesting to say the very least on the Haven. There's not that much you're going to be able to do about this. And, okay, nice skills, sure, but what is the counter to this? I mean, the sliding accuracy on the Neon is bad enough with the shotguns. Like, with the Vandal, you are talking, I mean, I can't stop watching this. It's actually so disgusting, it's ridiculous. Like, what are you meant to do? It's, okay, he misses the third shot and then closes it out, round over, right? Like, congratulations. So, yeah, that's what Zekken says. If you slide the Neon, it should reload your gun. The idea being that you shouldn't be able to shoot while you slide, or something like that. So, intrigued to your thoughts as ever in the comments below. First of all, though, before we dive into some other things, great news here from Weeded. Of course, we know that he's been going through a lot over the last few months. He's, you know, finally finished his chemotherapy treatment, so wishing him the best, of course, and, you know, with the rest of his recovery. A couple of things to mention on Rostermania as well around the world. Lembo says the following here on Heat. So Heat, it seems, is going to be joining Furia for the upcoming season. That seems to now be effectively a done deal. The rest of the roster rumored to be Muzera, Khalil, Havoc, and Rafa, so that's how things stand right now. Now, we also have an interesting tournament currently going on, the 10 VALORANT Asia Invitational. So we've got a few matches here. Now, these were just best of ones to determine the better teams. Then they go through to like a playoff situation. We'll see that here in just a second. And, you know, there's other matches currently ongoing. But DRX went down to Talon 1-0. So, of course, this is the new DRX team with Athan, who formerly went by Leviathan, basically, and he's now there. High Min, Mako, Flashback, and Freeing. That's their new roster. I, you know, was confused by the decision to make the changes that they did. Certainly, you know, getting rid of Foxy9 and stuff, and wasn't so convinced it was the best idea. And, well, we'll see if it works out for DRX. Of course, Gen.G are trying to take advantage of that as well. Talon, though, they take them down. Governor, Ban, Primi, this, of course, the roster over there. They beat them on the Haven 13-8 in the end. Then Gen.G, their new team, they take down FPX, who are also here 1-0. Of course, in the best of one, but it was 13-7 here on the Ascent. This is their roster. Munchkin, Yeoman, Foxy9, Texture, and Karon. So, yeah, few members, of course, staying, and then Foxy9 and Yeoman coming in. Excited about that possibility. So, yeah, the Gen.G team, I like the T1 team, of course, as well. FPX here, they go down in this one. Then we had DRX, so they took down FPX, and that was a 1-0, but it was a 14-12 banger here on the Ascent as well. So, just best of ones, not anything too much you can read into it, although as it stands, I believe we do have another game currently ongoing, which is, yeah, so Gen.G then played Talon, beat them 13-8, but in the game that's just concluded, I believe, as we're recording the video pretty much, is Gen.G versus DRX, and DRX took them down here 13-11, again on the Ascent. It seems for some reason that that's the way the vetoes tend to be going. But this is a pretty, you know, big result for DRX on some level, that they've made the roster changes they've done. Of course, Foxy9 has ended up on that Gen.G team, and he goes 9-21 for the loss. So, yeah, it's just a best of one. It is what it is, but it's going to be fascinating this season to see those Korean teams. T1, DRX, Gen.G, like, it's going to be pretty chaotic, I think, in that region. And who's going to be the best team of those rosters? Gen.G, of course, had the most success of those teams the most recent season. Can they replicate that? That is another question. So as it stands, we have Talon versus FPX, the final game, but yeah, pretty much DRX and Gen.G are looking to be the top seeds from this, and then they will go through to, you know, quarters, of semis, and a grand final over the next couple of days. Bit of drama as well. Pank, who we know full well, has been a very controversial figure in the VALORANT scene for some time, and one of the reasons why that the Union team were not especially well liked at Ascension last year. He's gone. He's going to Counter-Strike. So, you know, see if that works out any better for him. It probably won't, to be fair. Evil Genius is. Apoth is officially gone. So we saw this over the last couple of days. We saw in his bio yesterday that he was, you know, VALORANT free agent out of Evil Geniuses. And look, he did a solid job for the team, but I think it was pretty clear that they wanted to and were trying to upgrade. That's what they're trying to achieve. Sim is coming in, Ye is coming in, we believe, alongside Derek, Superman, and then, of course, Nature, still going to be in-game leading that lineup. So we'll see how that Evil Geniuses roster gets on as and when it's confirmed. There has been some talk as well about, okay, could Crashies be coming in? Now, for some reason, and that's obviously a fair point, we've not really heard any rumours about Crashy's next step. To be honest, you'd have thought that Crashies would have been in a conversation to go somewhere as a player because, you know, Victor and Crashies as a duo have had lots of success. And when they were removed from NRG, and of course they want to make an upgrade, the feeling is, okay, well, yeah, fair enough, they want to make a change and move on. And obviously Marved was very much singing the praises of Crashies and saying that, you know, trying to upgrade him isn't going to work and all this. But yet, you know, despite that, it's not like Crashies has been heavily rumoured to go to any other VCT team. Even if it's not in the Americas, you'd think maybe an EMEA team, that could be an option. But, you know, maybe that's not what he wants to do. I don't know. And Victor, after his wrist injury that he's had, he's not been able to play so much. And, of course, it's made it challenging for him to try and get back into the VCT as well. So, yeah, Crashies, he says feeling evil on his Twitch stream. Is he going to be joining EG? I mean, we've got no rumours to that effect, really. Is Blacksea right that he's too good to be teamless? Probably yes, but equally, we've not really heard rumours of him joining EG or any other roster at this point. So maybe there's something else going on, and tweet your thoughts as ever in the comments. We think it's Ye and Sim alongside Nature, Superman and Derek. A bit of drama about this tweet last night, but I didn't really want to dive into it in all that much detail. The other interesting piece, though, is on Apex. So, unfortunately, a lot of teams that win Ascension and qualify, they end up getting their players poached. We know this is true for Kayak, right? I think that's maybe how you better pronounce it. Player that we think is joining Fnatic now, and Duelist player, of course, effectively replacing Durka alongside Chronicle, Alpha, Leo, and Boaster for the new season. But of course, for the off-season tournaments, Leo's not going to play in those, and it's going to be Sayonara instead, but he's too young right now to play in the VCT. But Apex, they won Ascension this year, finally, and you know, ideally, you'd love to see that team just stick it out, wouldn't you? But it's very rarely how it works. Kayak's getting stolen away to Fnatic, and also Desmo is getting apparently stolen away to Lev. So, yeah, they confirmed yesterday, Apex, that Soulcast is gone, probably poached away, to our understanding. Kayak has gone to Fnatic, and then Desmo's gone as well. So, yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Now, the rumour is, who's going to replace him? I know there's been talk about, okay, could they get CNED in? Could they get potentially Scream? I know that people have mentioned that as kind of an exciting prospect. So, yeah, I think for Apex, the reality is, though, now for the new season, if you win Ascension, you need to keep doing well, otherwise you get demoted. So they need to upgrade if they can, or not, upgrade is going to be a challenge, right? But they need to, you know, bring in some talented players, otherwise Apex are going to, I imagine, struggle this year. But I wanted to share a couple of minutes of what the Sentinels guys have to say. It was a very interesting and insightful podcast they did. With N4RRATE, bang, their new players. Zelsis there was kind of like the mediator. And then Redux, of course, as well, their new sixth man. And they were talking about a lot of stuff, so I'll share the link in the description box below if you guys want to check out the entire thing. We'll probably talk about some other clips of it, to be fair, on this channel tomorrow. But N4RRATE was talking especially about how he got to Sentinels, what his decision was, why he came to Sen over some other options, and mainly really just the other teams that he was in conversations with or trialed for that he, you know, rejected, turned down when the opportunity to Sentinels arose. Now, maybe those other teams weren't that interested and they were going to go some other direction anyway, but we know how talented N4RRATE is, and he was linked to, I think, go to NRG last year. So the idea of him potentially getting interest from them again this year and then that getting rejected by himself to go to Sentinels seems pretty plausible.
Money?
Of course.
Money? You're getting rich?
Nah, I don't know. I think Sen is like just a really good org.
Well, because you had a couple other offers, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can talk a little bit about it here. It's fine.
Well, Sen to me is just like the best offer. At least like with my trial with them, like playing with other teams, it was just kind of like Sen were like in my head were just like way above everybody else. Even like before I knew like Tens and Saucy were retiring, like I just thought like if I could join Sen, I would just automatically.
What other teams were you playing with?
I was gonna trialed with. I'm not gonna say who I trialed with. It was gonna be Fnatic, obviously KC if I chose to resign with him.
Yeah.
NRG, 100 Thieves, and Sen, and then I think those are like the only teams.
Calm. And you chose Sen. I'm happy you're here.
I didn't trial with like 100 Thieves exactly, but it was gonna happen.
It was gonna happen?
Potentially.
Was it for Mr. Shanza?
For some reason, yeah, I think so. At first, it wasn't
I
going
think I know
to be.
why.
At first, it
See,
wasn't
100
going
Thieves
to
throwing
be.
you under the bus, man.
At first, it wasn't going to be. At first, it wasn't going to be for Sean. But then, like, some things happened, and then it literally was going to be for Sean. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Can't do my boy like that.
Okay.
And then you guys ended up on the same team, so it
Yeah.
all worked out.
We snaked him.
Looking to the rest of the off season, we still have the Sen City Classic coming up in this off season. You want me to say the teams? Is it announced? Okay. We have us, EG, C9, and NRG.
Anyone need a stand-in? You?
I'll be sick. Just
Really?
kidding. No, I got to replay this.
This guy's a land
I'm the
dodger.
MVP.
All right, bro.
I got to go for the 2
You were last year's
times.
MVP?
Fine, bro. I'll just watch
You
party.
were last year's MVP?
Yeah, I was the last Sen City MVP.
Or
The
this
Sen
year.
Invitational MVP.
Wow, it's exciting. I'm excited for that MVP performance to be like.
right there, actually.
Wait, when is this? Next week?
It's in like a week or two. Yeah, next weekend. How you guys feeling?
I'm excited.
You excited?
I'm super excited.
I feel like that's gonna be a first.
That's our
match.
first.
Yeah,
like
that's
series,
fun.
like
5, man. Yeah.
yeah. Well, we played against Tarek's team, but that's Tarek's team.
That doesn't count. I mean, those
Doesn't
guys
count.
are like janitors, bro.
Given the context of that as well, pretty exciting to hear about that Sentinels tournament they're soon going to be coming up with there, as Zeltis mentions, with Sen, obviously, with their brand new team, Evil Geniuses, as and when they are confirmed, Cloud9 with their new roster, and of course the NRG team as well, with Marduk coming in. I know that Redux went on to say, because, of course, NRG were looking at maybe getting Durka, that never happens, and of course they got rid of Demon 1, so Marduk's coming in, and yeah, there was definitely a feeling from Redux that maybe NRG could be good with Marduk, maybe they could do some damage, but there's of course questions that, because FNS has made it clear that this is his last year, and I think that was another discussion point on the podcast, is that, well, if a player says, hey, this is my last year competing, it's relatively rare they go out on a massive high, right? Usually, most careers end up petering out to some degree. Just naturally how it tends to work. Not many people go out on top. And so that's the feeling, isn't it? That, well, FNS, he's basically said it's his final year. What's that going to look like for NRG? Is it good or bad? These are questions that are difficult to answer. There was also some discussion on Les, because he's obviously there on Vitality. He's doing a pretty good job, like learning some English. He's getting there, and it's going to be an important point, I think, for the upcoming season as well. Durga says, wow, this guy learned English already. Impressive stuff. But, yeah, time will tell how the chemistry and the culture on that team actually is, because understandably, there are going to be some serious questions to that end. I just did have a quick look at this to see what the Apex roster was potentially going to be. Rumour has it around maybe Fatinho coming into that Apex team instead. So, that's something to potentially keep in mind. You guys can actually see that. So here you go. This is the latest Rocket Bullet spreadsheet with the following there. So yeah, this is the way things currently stand in EMEA. Time will potentially tell a little bit of a difference, who knows. And there was also this, the Valorant Asia International, or the Invitational, going on soon, and DFM has received a nice little invite to this. But intrude to your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.